Hi, I'm sitting here with Ulrik, the CEO and founder of Falcon Social. Ulrik, you will be a part of a panel, the Nordic Startup Conference in March.
Yes.
So in terms of that, how would you describe an entrepreneur?
Yes, I think there are numerous things that are really important in entrepreneurship, especially as a company goes from inception to growth and expansion. There are some peculiarities and differences that are important, but I view it primarily as a really good entrepreneur needs to be an absolute execution machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really important. There are so many things that you can think of trying to do and opportunities arising, and it's important to, as you execute on things really fast, to see these patterns. So really being a pattern recognizer and executing very quickly on the things that you see, because you will be wrong quite a bit of the times you choose to do something. So you have to get to the conclusion that this is actually a failure what you're trying to do, and then do something else. That requires really raw execution power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the primary things you need as an entrepreneur in my mind.
Yeah. So what current challenges do you see being an entrepreneur in the Nordic ecosystem?
So I think that the Nordics we have a lot of great things going for us. There's a lot of creativity. It's actually pretty easy to create good engineering teams. That's very difficult in the hotspots in the US, for instance, so we have that thing going for us. Most countries, especially here in my native Denmark, have labor laws that makes it pretty easy to scale and edit a team. Mm-hmm. That's really important. That's not the case in all Nordic countries. The legislation differs a little. But one of the really nice things here is that you're also able to create quite an international atmosphere, and that's the thing that's been really big for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that you get international early on in most of the business you can create, because our home markets are so freaking small.
Yeah.
So you really need to be international from the get-go. We've done that by creating a very international team with 30 nationalities out of our current headcount of a little over 100.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important to tap into the good things that we have in the Nordics, but then be ready to expand beyond as quickly as you possibly can. And that's going to be difficult if you have an all Nordic team or an all Danish, Norwegian, Swedish team to kind of break the mold and look to scale elsewhere. You really need a team that, by its DNA, is doing that.
Mm-hmm. But is anything you want to change that could make your entrepreneurship and you building the business easier in this?
Well, there's a lot of small peculiarities could be better, and there are some. I think one thing to touch upon would be perhaps immigration laws, green card for people coming outside of the EU. It's really easy to hire people within the EU, have them relocate, but there are some pitfalls when you're hiring people outside of the EU, which is really important if you want to scale. If you want to get some US guys on board, for instance, there's actually quite a few pitfalls doing that. So that's probably the main thing I would highlight. Mm-hmm. In terms of what are sort of outside factors that could be changed.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Nordic Startup Conference in March. Thank you.
Cheers.